Hi, my name is Dhwani and I am a biomedical science student from DMU, and I'm here to give you some tips and guidance to help you prepare for your research project, lab report or dissertation. Writing a research paper or lab report or dissertation might sound daunting, intimidating and a lengthy process, but once you start, you will get used to with it. So I will help you and describe you each section that is included in a research paper and how you can write. And at the end, I will give you some interesting tips that will help you to guide to write your paper. So let's have a look. Is an example of a research paper that I've took. At the very top of this page, you can see a title. It describes of what all your research is all about, and it should be a concise and not very too long as well, and it should describe what you did and what your research is all about. Underneath your title you can see some names. The names are who carried out the research and who wrote this paper. After that, you can see an abstract. An abstract is a section where you describe overall summary of your project or in a paper. Underneath abstract, you can also describe objectives, aims, design, results, conclusion as per your format. So basically, this is a short summary of your whole research that you carried out, how you did, and what it is included in a short way. And this should be written at the very end of your write-up. So make sure you write at the very end when you finish all your sections. After that, there is an introduction section. This section should be a brief and is really important as well, and where you describe and introduce about the background reading and all the information about your project and research that you carried out, and you should give a reader basic information and what your purpose of this project is all about, and give some insight into this project that you carried out. Like you can see, it is a long and in a paragraph. Therefore, it should be a brief description of your background reading. After that, there is a method section. Method section describes all about the methods or the techniques that you use during your project or a period of time. You describe all the methods and the techniques that you use. For example, if I did a lab-based or a practical research, then I will describe all the methods. For example, if I did a PCR or microscopy or a staining, then I will describe about it. And I can also include measures or the precautions that I took during my project. For example, if I'm doing a data analysis or um, literature review, then I will describe where the data is from, and I will also describe the source of that data, that how I found out, and etc. Then we have end result section. This is a really important section of your project. You can also include and present all your findings of your project that you carried out. And then the main important thing for this section is you have to describe about your findings in a table or graph or chart exam in that format. So it is really important that you include all these things in your result section. You can also include quantitative and qualitative findings if you have done during your project. And you should also, like here, table 1, figure 1, table 2, you can also include that as well to signpost and to describe your results. After that, you can also include a subsection. For example, in a result section, if I want to describe about different things, then I can describe with different sections. For example, physical appearance, loss of self-control. Therefore, underneath each section, I can also describe a subsection. Now here you can see a table which consists of many data and a unit as well. So it's really important that you label this table and also write the important keywords. For example, what NHS is. So I've given here the full form, so something like that. So you should also include little things as well. After that, you've got a discussion section. It is a section where you describe and discuss about all your findings and results, where you talk about and discuss how you found these results and what may go wrong and what did work. So this is a brief description, and usually it is a long and brief description in your paper. After that, you have to write is a conclusion. At the end, under this section, you have to conclude of overall researched project that you did and what are the limitations, what you can find out in future, and you can basically, you're just comparing and contrasting your findings and other techniques that can be useful in future. After that, you can also describe, for example, contributors, funding, interest, etc. You can also describe some sections like acknowledgements, where you acknowledge other people for helping throughout your research project and thank them basically. And then there is a section that is bibliography, where you describe other references or other links that is helpful for the reader. And then you can also describe appendix. This is a section where you describe other things related to your project, for example, any links or anything. So I would recommend you should always follow your recommended or suggested format and follow them. And then at the end, you can include a list of references. You should always include a list of references depending on your format, and you should always follow that. Mostly references are used and they are in a Harvard style. So I will always recommend that you cross-check with your format and your supervisors and colleagues before you write them. Always make sure it is in a correct format. So yeah, this is all about the paper. Now I will give you some tips that will help you to write your research project.